All right, guys, Fulu coming to you with another video. Someone actually brought this to my attention a couple of days ago, and I said, okay, I'm gonna get to it. And originally, I was supposed to upload something, but for some reason, it didn't work. So I have to redo the video, and so this is a redo of a video that I was going to upload a couple of days ago. Just basically, I was requested to upload it. So, um, we have a lot of things going on in the world right now, as you know. I mean, people are like really, going crazy over this Russia-Ukraine thing. I mean, that seems to be the topic. That seems to be like the number one discussion, you know, is the whole Ukraine situation. But on a smaller scale, there's a lot of conflicts which are going on in Africa as of right now. A lot of the conflicts are happening on the Horn of Africa. You have I think they have that TPLF conflict, and there's a couple of other conflicts going on over there. But what I want to do is bring attention into a lesser known conflict, and this conflict has been going on for a long time. I guess you could say that it hasn't been as bloody as, for say, like the Nigerian Civil War, where, you had the Biafra separatists who wanted their own independent thing, and it just wasn't going to happen. They weren't going to let that happen, that Nigeria would break off. They just said, no, it's not happening, and we're not going to let it happen, right? So basically basically where we're at right now is we're in a situation in Senegal, or let's just say Senegambia. Let's just say that, Senegambia. We're in a situation in Senegambia in which you have a group called I believe it's called I want to say the MFDC, and it stands for Movement of Democratic Forces of Cassamance. And the thing is about this is that this conflict, or this movement, was formed by a guy named Salif Sadio. And the thing is about Cassamance, when the French, did what they did in terms of like Senegal, and also like when the British decided to take Gambia, right? The French just added Cassamance to Senegal. That's the thing. The French decided, okay, well, we're going to add Cassamance to this. Now the situation is that I want to say that Cassamance has no desire to be a part of Senegal, and part of that is because it's feeling neglected. It's felt neglected. It's felt that there hasn't been any development or any real attention towards Cassamance. What does this have to do with me and my family? Well, historically speaking, this part of Senegal was very important in our liberation for Guinea-Bissau, and Cabo Verde. And the reason why is because of the simple fact that, although I don't like him as a president, he did help us out. But Leopold Senghor, one of Senegal's former presidents, who was very much a pro-French guy, he let us set up a base in Zingohor, which is like the Cassamance region. You'll also find that, in the movement of the PAIGC, you had Casamancais who joined the movement. Hell, you even had Gambians who were in the ranks as well. So it wasn't just like the Sao and Cabo Verdeans. Yeah, you had Gambians and you had Casamancais in the movement too, which explains why I have family in all three places. You know what I mean? But it must also be said, some of your best players on the Senegal national team come from Cassamance. Sadio Mane being one of them. He's from Cassamance. So the thing is, these rebels and these separatists, they demand that they have autonomous state. They demand that they have independence, so to say, and that they no longer want to be part of Senegal. And the reason why that is they feel that, Senegal has not really invested anything in them in terms of education, in terms of medical facilities, in terms of all these things. And, maybe part of it is true because, at the end of the day, you have Sadio Mane actually, building hospitals there, building schools there, building mosques there, So, with that being said, they want to separate, but if I don't know if separation would be good for them, because when you really think about it, what do they actually have there that could sustain them by themselves? That's what question we would have to ask ourselves. Like, what do they possibly have there that would be sustainable, right? That they can actually build their own economy off of, that they can actually build infrastructure off of. Because if they're complaining that, they're not getting support from the Senegalese government, then how can they possibly support themselves? We will have to ask ourselves that question. Now, one thing I want to say as well is that I guess you have some cultural differences, because when you look at identity of Senegal, when you really look at the identity of Senegal, is pretty much Wolof and Muslim. And if you want to get into more detail, it's Wolof and Brotherhood, meaning that you speak Wolof, right? Regardless if you may be Serer, regardless if you may be Halpular, regardless if you may be, let's say Lebu or something like that, you still speak Wolof. And in addition to that, you belong to one of the major Tarouks of that of Senegal, be it Tijaniya, be it Qadiriya, or be it Mouridiya, which is pretty much one and the same. Qadiriya, Mouridiya, pretty similar to one another. But anyhow, this conflict has caused a lot of displacement. You have people being displaced in the Gambia from the Casamance conflict. You have, even Guinea-Bissau maybe wanting to get involved with this because of the simple fact they don't want this thing spilling over. So with that being said, I think the best bet would be to not necessarily separate, because the problem is if you have 5,000 displaced people, you know what I mean, due to the violence and things like that, um, I think that like separation would not be good for in this situation. Now, what needs to be said as well is that with these cultural differences, this is not to say that there aren't any Muslims in Cassamance. You know, there are Muslims still. Don't get it twisted. There's Muslims there, right? But you have a lot of different groups there. You have Mandinka there, right? You have Jola there, right? You also have some other groups like Basardi. You also have groups that you would see in Guinea-Bissau, like Balantas. You also have, I want to say, Manjacas. You know what I mean? And I believe you even have Faloups, too. So, with this being said, you also have the element of animus. And also a few Catholics as well. There's some Catholics because I think his name, Senghor, the president, before, you know, during the colonial times, he was a Catholic as well, I believe. I also think he had a French woman as well, too. But, you know, when you look at like Dakar, when you look at like St. Louis, when you look at these places like Corridor, when you look at these places like, I want to say, like Kaolack, and these kind of places, I mean, they're majority Muslim places, right? And it's like majority Wolof culture, you know? And so I think the Casamancais, they kind of kept their culture alive. You know what I mean? And because they don't want to like maybe experience the Wolofization of their part of the region, that's why they want to separate. So it's not only a like for a, how should I say it, a political thing, it's also a cultural thing with them, you know what I mean, to preserve what they feel is their culture. But, you know, hopefully a solution can be made. My personal belief is the best solution for this situation would probably be to have some sort of autonomy, you know, have some sort of autonomy, like having their own, like, let's just say governor or something like that, or having something in that vein, but still, you know, being a part of Senegal, but still in a way having like some autonomy. You know, that's how I feel. I feel that they would it would be best for them to do that. You know, that's how I feel would be the best solution. That way, I guess, hopefully, each party involved would be like satisfied. Well, let's see what happens. You know, hopefully this thing dies over and people can be happy with the results. But anyhow, Foolish signing out. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. And John,